Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're gonna keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the party. I'm Gray Mars.
Nora Christine.
Kamal Johnson.
I'm Mia.
And I'm Enzo.
All right, so tonight we're going to be starting off with someone who people are saying is going to be the 2028 candidate, AOC, Alexandria, what's her middle name? Oscar Ortiz?
Ocasio.
Ocasio?
Flying a plane with a banner that said, this is Trump country. It sure don't look like it today. I don't think this is Trump country. I think this is our country.
So basically, she's raised $92 million in 3 months. She has a lot of people behind her, but Mia knows a lot about this than me. So Mia, go ahead and tell us what your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so AOC is absolutely, definitely, she is the front runner for 2028. She will be the Democrats. They're positioning her as the Democratic savior. She is the progressive. She really is essentially the only power player in the Democratic Party right now. There's not a single person that has raised more money. There's not a single person that has as much clout, that's drawing as much people. So she's being groomed by Bernie Sanders to take over his role as the progressive front leader of the Progressive Party within the Democratic Party. I mean, Montana, which is pretty heavily red, she drew almost 8,000 people. Folsom, California, 30,000 people showed out to see her. Over 4,000 people in California, Bakersfield. In Idaho alone, she over 12,005. Thousands upon thousands of people are turning out to see her. She is it. She is the best that they have to offer, and it would be smart for the Democrats to put their weight, fundraising, and their aspirations behind her, because she really checks all the boxes they're looking for. She's brown, she's female, she's from the city. I would say she's reasonably educated. She's not too overeducated. I believe she has a bachelor's, but she's not like a PhD crazy person or anything like that. She used to be a bartender or whatever before she was a congresswoman. To be honest, she checks pretty much all of the boxes, and I think she turns 40 this year as well, so she's young. So she meets the 35-year requirement for a president's. So, I mean, she checks a lot of the boxes they're looking for, and honestly, they would be dumb to not take this opportunity while rich white men are going down to South America to worry about that Garcia dude. Her and Bernie have been quietly making multiple stops across the country and really kicking out the notch to present her as the party leader and the party frontrunner, which at this point in time she is. I can tell you right now, nobody's paying Hakeem Jeffries, Walmart, Great Value brand, Obama any money to be anything at this point in time. So I think the Democrats really should throw their weight behind her and try and put her as the power player. It's better than Kamala. I think she's also infinitely much smarter than Kamala. I'm not saying I like her, but I'm saying I feel like she's infinitely much smarter than Kamala.
For sure, for sure. Did you have any closing thoughts? We know you got to get out of here.
No, so I'm gonna jump, but really, I think the amount of crowd she's drawing, the amount of fundraising, and all of that really lends to the fact that she is it for the Democrats. Like, she is their best chance. Like I said, she checks all the boxes that they're looking for to be checked. Hopefully, they can find her a decently strong VP and not some weird elderly dude from Minnesota. It would give her a much better fighting chance.
For sure, for sure. Well, we'll see you later. Have a good night. Nora, what you think?
Nobody voting for no damn AOC. Okay, let's talk about this. I love you, Mia, but you are very off. First of all, she's not even in the top 3 polling. There's a poll I just saw online. It's Buttigieg, between Buttigieg and Harris. I think she's like number 4. And no, the Democrats are the do nothing Democrats. She represents that. She ain't done shit for her district. If anyone votes for her, you are a damn fool. Those people are poor. They were poor the day she was voted in. They're poor now. The district sucks. She sucks. And you guys are going to suck again if you put her up. I promise you, if you put her up, Donald Trump will win a 3rd term.
Feisty tonight, real feisty. Enzo, you got to make America great again hat on too. Is AOC going to win in 2028?
No, AOC is not going to win. Listen, even they could put Joe Biden's corpse up there, and he would pull more than AOC. I give credit where credit's due. AOC, respect all day long that she was a bartender before she became before she became a congresswoman, which actually gives me hope because I want to run for Congress in the next 8 years. That's my goal. So it gives me credit, but I do not see her becoming a president. She is far too left. She's running behind Bernie, who's captain left. And look at how the Democrats are polling right now. They're polling in the 20% because they went too far left. So you're going to put somebody who's the extreme left, groomed by master left, to bring back the party that is mad that they went too left. Wrong after wrong after wrong. I understand the saying is two wrongs make a right, but it's not going to work in this situation. Vance is going to win, and even if Trump runs in 28, which
I'm joking, but still, I'm just saying that they do that.
Oh, I know.
For sure.
It ain't happening.
So, Kamal, you own a man cave. Now you're on a new party. So what do you think about AOC?
What I think about AOC is she ain't talking about shit. Just like the rest of the Democrats. You feel me? And look, some of the Republicans too, man. I already told y'all I'm apolitical. I'm all about my Black American family. You feel me? Any policies that's going to help us out. And them trying to throw on sass on the same ass policies, try to sexify it up. I seen her at that. Well, at the speech she was on, she had the little tight jeans on and blah, blah, blah. Look, the policies are still the same. It's immigrant. I'm tired of that shit. The hell? Like, and with AOC, is she the front runner? I don't give a rat's ass. I care about somebody that's going to be talking about policies that's going to help out my Black Americans at this point. So, is she? I just don't give a rat's ass if she the front runner or not. She just ain't saying shit right now. It's the same thing as immigrants. We want to help immigrants. Use the Black plight to help immigrants. It's all bull jive. So, that's just how I feel about it.
Yeah, I think Gavin Newsom is most likely going to be the person to win the primary more than anybody to me. And I know he's trying to reach out to, more conservatives right now. But some conservatives are upset with the Republican Party. And this is someone that all you guys know that seems to be turning on Donald Trump. So I wanted to get y'all thoughts on this.
Got behind Trump at the very end, right? When victory was in the sight, he was like, I am the number one Trumper. And the next thing you know, he's like living at Mar-a-Lago and somehow also, I'm supposed to believe, running 3 businesses. Same thing when it comes to Peter Thiel, Tim Cook. It's like these people are gods, untouchable. And it's been very embarrassing for me as a conservative to watch people who are completely unable to call out their behavior that does not align with conservative principles, or at least to attempt to more truly assess what their aims are. Okay, because I don't think it's the conservation of values. Okay, or I'll ask the question, let me not be judgmental. What conservative value does Elon Musk hold dear that made him worthy of his proximity to Trump's administration? Take a second. Just like, let's take a second here. All right, we're all in a classroom. What was it? Elon Musk, what was the value that he had? And please don't say you went all in on Doge. Like he was the only person cut for the job of cutting government spending. Any business accountant worth their salt could have cut government costs. You don't need a celebrity. You don't need someone who likes rockets and space to do that. Okay. You just need a very good accountant that, hey, could you cut? Yeah, sure. Okay. You don't need to do any press or anything. You're just going to sit here and cut. Yeah, that's what I do. I'm an accountant. Get yourself a forensic accountant. There are entire firms that specialize in this. So it can't be that. You can't be, I hope we're not that fickle. Is it a stance on family? Is there anyone who's had more baby mama drama? I have been so bothered by this, and I've been so disturbed as people are like, he's being taken advantage of. Poor trillionaire, poor gazillionaire with 19 baby mamas. He had no idea. He had no idea who Ashley St. Clair was. Oh, yeah, sure, he runs 3 businesses. He could have gone over everything she's ever put on the internet and hired a firm to do it. He could have just like bought a private equity firm and said, actually, I don't want you to do any private equity. I just want you to search Ashley St. Clair's entire life in tweets. But no, he's a victim. Okay. And recently, by the way, she was in the news because she's getting her Tesla towed and he's sniping at her on X. And it's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. He cut back her, I guess the money he was giving her was $100,000 a month. And he cut it back by 60%. So now what she's getting $40,000 a month. And could you pull this up you have to pull this up, Skylar, on X. Like the other day when he wrote under, I think it was Laura Loomer's tweet. He's like, I don't know if this is my baby, but I've thus far given her $2.5 million. And I'm still going to give her X amount of dollars per month. It was petty Betty. And this showed to me that he is an emotional man, he's an erratic man, and he will make his children suffer to get back at their baby mamas if he wants to, right? There's just no reason that she's having a Tesla towed. It's just weird. It's just absolutely weird. I don't care if people look at that and go, well, $2.5 million over 2 years is a lot of money. Yeah. When you're not sleeping with Elon Musk, it might sound like a lot of money, but like if you're going to raise the baby alone, he's not going to see the baby alone. I'm sorry. I don't really care. He's not a victim here. As I said, this is like his 15th child. Okay. Like he knows how babies are made. So it couldn't have been his stance on family that drove you towards Elon Musk. Was it a stance on faith? Are you a Christian? Or were you one of these Christians that got behind him? Because I'm pretty sure that he's a part of the transhumanist movement, meaning when are we going to turn everybody into AI movement? Okay, when are humans going to merge with robots? This is what he tweeted this morning. I couldn't even believe it. He tweeted, as I mentioned several years ago, it increasingly appears that humanity is a biological bootloader for digital super intelligence. Ah, yes, God created the human soul so that we could become slaves to tech. That's it. We're just here to load it up, have fun, tech. Yeah. And people just didn't have an issue. They're just like, this is all fine. It's all fine. What has the MAGA movement become? I'm asking a serious question. What has this movement become? Because I was down with this about, family values. I was down with this when we were fighting big tech, when we were fighting for speech. Now they're bringing in speech laws. This is getting crazy. And some people just don't have the courage. I guess everybody's just a bandwagon fan. And because Trump was on the bandwagon, everyone just got on the Elon Musk bandwagon, no questions asked. The petty behavior when he was like blocking accounts and taking away check marks because somebody disagreed with him over H-1B visas. I don't even know how you can productively run 3 businesses if that's your approach to life. If when you get angry, you try to make people suffer, whether it's your baby mama or it's someone who's just disagreeing with you over H-1B visas. That's babyish behavior. And I struggle to believe that he is heading up 3 companies if this is how he acts, because you can't unite people around that kind of behavior. And kudos to the people who had the courage to say something's not right here, who didn't go along with the crowd, who don't just follow the leader and go, well, Trump likes him, so that's enough. It's okay if he wants to turn us all into robots and put chips in our brain. No questions asked.
So Candace Owens has created quite a stir, and I'm seeing all over TikTok that people are upset. I saw one lady say to her husband, "Oh, Candace Owens is going on the other side. She deleted everything off of her social media. She's gonna go to the other side." Her husband was like, "No, Candace is the best. She would never do that. Candace would never turn on us." And then this video came out, and now Republicans are upset. Nora, how do you feel about Candace Owens? Do you feel like she's turned on the right?
No, I think it's a big psyop. She's gone against Israel. That's number one. They don't like that. She's taken a strong position against that. I think that is driving the force for people to be angry with her. Number two, she has every right to call out a billionaire being entrenched in our government. That should be an issue that all Americans call out. We should all see an issue with it. We don't want more billionaires. We don't need more billionaires in the White House. Now, initially, when we were filming this 6 months ago, I said, yeah, it's good. You know, billionaires, they give advice, they add things, there's positive things. There are positive things to billionaires, but not being the number 3 man in the White House. He literally told in text message to that baby mama of his that he's like the number 2 most important guy. They're trying to kill him, all this crap. Listen, he does not represent conservative values. I call him a conservative. He's not a conservative. Conservative values are family first. Having multiple baby mamas who can't get a hold of you when you don't see your kids is not a conservative. So Candace truly does represent conservative values. Do I 100% agree with her on everything? No, but she's a family woman. She stands for conservative values. She stands for it. The only biggest gripe I have with Candace Owens is, baby, you need to drop Andrew Tate and them. They don't represent conservative values too. So you sound like a hypocrite. You over here criticizing Elon Musk when Andrew Tate is the brown version of Elon Musk. He over here with multiple baby mamas. He has multiple businesses. They're all insidious. The only difference is Elon Musk is accepted by America because he has these billionaires. He's on the up and up. But honestly, him and Andrew are no different. So that's where I stand on that. And I don't think she's going against it. She's holding MAGA accountable, which is what we need. But at the same time, my last thing, I do think Trump has done things for conservative values. He made sure we got rid of the woke shit. There's now no more pronouns. He puts America first. He's trying to deport illegals, which helps all Americans, but people don't realize that. So I think he has stayed true. Also, I'm not happy with what he did in Yemen, for example, but came out yesterday. He took a stance against Israel for us going to war with Iran. That's putting America first. So I'm sorry if you don't like it. It is what it is. You're not going to be 100% happy with Trump.
That was a lot. Kamal, you're apolitical. Do you feel like people on the left and right just stay with their groups, or do you feel like they're independent thinkers?
I mean, some is independent thinkers, some stay with their group. What I wanted to point out was that's the first clip I done heard Candace Owens shit on a white man. God damn. This is the first clip I done heard her not shit on us black folks in a long time. Forever. Damn, that's the first. Where'd you find that at, Gray?
It's going viral, like, because
Let
people
me find
right,
that. Like, damn.
Yeah.
She's
not true.
Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is a robot. He AI. Y'all see the video? He was glitching out. Yeah. Trying to turn this into his own kind. You feel me? Like, but my thing is this. I feel that and I'm seeing it more with my Black American people. We voting for stuff that's gonna help us out. We need to be more like them folks and see how they do when they be voting Republican one day, then they Democrat the next day. Vote for your policies. That's what I'm all about. You feel me? So some people gonna be with the herd, some people gonna be with the group think, and then some people gonna be independent. But I don't know, Gray. I was in the twilight zone because I was hearing Candace Owens. She was saying stuff that shit on the white man. I was like, wait a minute, nah, bro, this can't be her. This can't be her.
Yeah, man. I was shocked too. So Izzo has MAGA sold their soul to the technocrats. She said a lot of stuff in there, so I couldn't put everything, but she's basically saying, like, within 5 seconds, like, Trump was cool with Jeff Bezos, Martin Zuckerberg, and Elon Musk, but the right hated them for so long, and then in 5 seconds, everybody was like, "Oh, they're fine, they're great because they're on our side."
We could, because they're giving them money. Whoever side they're giving money to, they're obviously going to be cool with. I said that at the inauguration because everyone's like, "Oh, look at all these billionaires at the inauguration." I was like, "Look at the last 4 years. I can guarantee you can go look up the books and find exactly every single one of them donated to the exact same party that got into office." Because at the end of the day, they don't want to be sanctioned. They don't want to be. They want their businesses to thrive. They want the best thing to happen for them. Zuckerberg's one of the biggest one. He censored anything Trump for the last 4 years, the hardest out of everybody. So I mean, it's just like it's just bowing the knee, saying whoever is in office, we're gonna kiss the ring to get what we want at the end of the day. And I still think the same thing with Elon. I don't think he absolutely upholds conservative values whatsoever. I don't give a shit what the guy does in his background. He's not in politics. He's a Department of Doge. That's it, and that's only a 1-year department. Which I'm pretty sure he's done with Doge now, right? As of May 30th, so he'll be done. So I mean, he's out of government, so it really doesn't matter to me. He's not the face of the Republican Party. He's not who I voted for. So it's just water under the bridge to me. And I think Candace Owen is a little. I want to say she's just throwing up a smoke signal to see who she can get behind her and start complaining about Elon, just like how the Democrats have been complaining about Elon. It's just stupid in my eyes.
For sure. So I'm gonna get to the news that we all know was breaking today. It was a school shooting at FSU. I live in Florida. My kid's aunt went to FSU, so this is close to home.
You all have been devastated because of this person's actions. The question as it relates to who is the shooter is 20-year-old Phoenix Eichner. And he's the son of a Leon County Sheriff deputy. Our Deputy Eichner, has been with the Leon County Sheriff's Office for over 18 years. She has a tremendous job that she's done. Her service to this community has been exceptional. Unfortunately, her son had access to one of her weapons, and that was one of the weapons that was found at the scene. And we are continuing that investigation into how that weapon was used and what other weapons perhaps he may have had access to.
So I believe it was 2 shooters, but that's what they're saying online. I know there's more information coming out. But Enzo, I believe you like the two-way and basically the right is more, like people should be able to have their weapons. How do you feel hearing that, this guy took a weapon from his mother and she was actually in law enforcement?
She should be held accountable 100% because she didn't have it locked up correctly. Guns just don't go out and kill people at the end of the day. She is in law enforcement. She should know this. She should know that if you have certain people in your home, no matter what it is or who you are or whatever your background is, that needs to be locked up because you never know what people are going through. You never know what's going on in people's minds or how they're going to just take that gun. Like we were talking about it earlier. All these mass shootings are not because of guns, and I'm waiting for everybody on the left to say, "Oh, well, we need stricter gun restrictions." No, it all comes down to mental health at the end of the day. Yes, she should be held accountable because she did not have her gun locked up correctly, but at the same time, the bigger issue is completely mental health. And that's my whole stance on it. It's an unfortunate situation that 2 people lost their lives and 5 are injured. It's unfortunate, but we all need to do better in America with that and not blame guns.
Kamal, how do you feel about the Second Amendment? Do you feel like guns? I know you said like you're for the Black community. It's a lot of like stuff with us getting caught with guns, murders. I don't know if I can say that, but how do you feel like should there be more restrictions on getting weapons? What do you think?
Hell no. You need to be less restrictions. Get your permits, get your guns, protect yourself. You feel me? Defend thyself. I ain't with that old restriction. And I live in California. You know how strict they is with guns over here and stuff like that? No, protect yourself. You feel me? My thing is this though, like with that story, I want to wait till it develops some more because it was a mass shooting. And you know, with mass shooters, they might have a manifesto somewhere. So I'm just gonna wait on that. Wait and see before I really speak on that situation. But when it comes to guns, make sure you got your paperwork. You feel me? If you need to protect yourself, protect yourself. It's the Second Amendment. You feel me? I ain't with that restriction shit when it comes to the guns and stuff like that. Nah.
Right. So Nora, there's a video going viral. I didn't know if I could play it on YouTube, but there's a guy on a cart riding by drinking his Starbucks and recording one of the victims. Have we become desensitized to violence in America?
I'm glad you asked me this. I actually tweeted about this. So first of all, I am disgusted that America is more, the right in particular, is more shamed about that clip because a lot of right-wing influencers were playing it than they are about the fact that we have another mass shooting at a university. So let me say this. A lot of the victims of Stoneman Douglas, like the kids that were there, now go to FSU. So you mean to tell me they're going through this again? You mean to tell me there's no changes to this again? So I don't think any gun laws could have prevented this. Okay, his mom was an idiot. She should have locked up the guns better. So let's eliminate that one. I think we need to stop asking, what can we do? Let's send prayers. And we need to look at our mental health system. There needs to be more greater access to mental health than there is to a gun. I can tell you, you can more easier go buy a gun than you can go see a mental health counselor right now as you speak. If you try to go see a psychiatrist right now as you speak, it's a 2, 3, 4 week wait in some cities, sometimes even months, because there's no one available. Second of all, instead of them giving counseling to people, what do? It's easier for you to go get you some SSRIs that messes up your brain. Go back to RFK Jr. We need to stop giving SSRIs to these kids. A lot of these kids have been taking ADHD, SSRI medication since they were 5, 6 years old sometimes. So imagine 15, 16 years later, you've been taking that. It messes with your brain. And I'm not saying that that's the whole reason for this young man, but really we need two things in this country. We need universal health care. Again, I know it's not a popular point for Republicans, for people on the right, but if a healthy America is a great America. If you want to make America great again, we need universal health care. Every major country has it. And secondly, we need to reform our mental health system. So going back to your initial question, do I think that person was probably desensitized? They probably were hopped up on their SSRIs who probably didn't even realize that they were filming what they were filming, and so numb. You know what I'm saying? Like they're so numb that they don't realize what they're filming. And shame on everybody for shaming them for filming. I'm not saying it's right. Shame that they did that, but shame that we're more outraged that they filmed that than we are that we had another mass shooting on a college campus or school campus.
Well, now that we're talking about young people, to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, one of our cast members, Jay, went to Coachella. And one of the big things with Coachella is that 60% of the people that went financed the ticket. So they did.
Here's what it's like to stay in the safari tents at Coachella. We arrived to our setup tent, beds, towels, and best of all is that the whole tent is air conditioned and it comes with a fridge and a ton of different outlets. They also
that's
have bathrooms
hot.
stocked with
How
all
do
of
I
the
get
essentials
that?
you need and showers. We got our wristbands and unboxed our Coachella box. We spent some time vision boarding the weekend and planning out our schedule. And then we went to an Aperol Spritz welcome party during sunset and they had a DJ playing to keep the vibe super high. They also served dinner, which is so nice. We had chicken, pulled pork, dessert, and then we watched the beautiful sunset. And then we got our pool inflated and filled, and then we played some games until it was time for bed. Stay tuned for day one of Coachella weekend 1.
Okay, so we could talk about money a lot with politics and everything like that. But we got young people financing tickets. So tickets was $600, and then room and board people were getting $400. So Kamal, I know you said that you're in California. I don't know if you know much about Coachella, but how do you feel about these young people financing everything? Like I know they finance shoes and electronics and stuff now, but now concert tickets, it seems a little extreme.
Greg, who the fuck is financing shoes, bruh? What is going on, bruh?
They do that. They do the pay next month. Like you pay on it.
Man, how I get in that game? I'll finance some shoes immediately. What? And
I wish I had that opportunity, right?
I don't think this is a new thing though. Weren't they financing tickets? I felt like for Coachella, like they started that 2013. They started that a while ago. It's just picking up steam on it. I've been knowing for the longest, people been financing Coachella tickets. And it's like $600. They be going into debt to go to Coachella and stuff like that. But this is not a new concept, though. I think this has been happening for a minute. It's just picking up steam right now.
For sure. So, Enzo, you're Gen Z, right?
Huh?
You Gen Z?
What do you mean, Jay-Z?
Gen Z.
Are you Generation Z, Enzo?
Oh,
are you
Gen Z, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, from my day, it was like cash, like debit card. You really couldn't get credit for anything. So, like, is this like a popular thing?
That's not true. I had a credit card at 19.
Okay, well,
You're asking
Enzo,
the wrong person in this generation.
Are there like a lot of people? Huh?
I didn't get a credit card until I was 23. So I'm the wrong person to ask about that.
Okay. So Nora, it sounds like your credit score is 120. What do you think about finance and stuff?
Well, excuse me. I have a good credit score. Not the best, but better than most people at this age. Okay, and I own my house. Thank you. So listen, I looked up that tent. That's $10,000 to $12,000 for that tent. Yo, I need y'all jobs. Can I have y'all jobs? Because I make pretty good money and I can't even afford that. So I want what you guys do. Okay. So I mean, like the reality is this. Listen, they try and live their best life. They're going to be living with their parents forever. Why not? The way America's set up, you can't afford to own or buy a house under the age. I don't even know anymore because I got my house with my mom. I'm not going to even cap you. So I feel bad for these young people. They don't see a brighter future. Things are too expensive. They as soon as they graduate from college, I can only speak from experience. You have $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 worth of debt. Listen, I'm not saying it's right, but that's where they're at.
For sure. I mean, like, I will finance a house, a car, but the interest rate is what I have an issue with. Because, like, when you finance something, you're paying way more for it than basically what it would have been worth if you just paid for it outright. Yeah. But one of the big things going around is Trump supporters regretting their votes. I know none of the people on our cast regret
and how they feel. Do they regret their vote? I mean, this is the big question, right? I hear all these stories, all these articles, all the Trump voters, they regret what they did back in 2024. I'm here to tell you, very few of them regret what they did back in 2024. What are we talking about? Trump voters looking back at 2024. We got a new poll out. The poll was conducted this month. What percentage would change their vote to a different candidate? We're talking just 2%, just 2%. That's not even a wide spot on the road. And then there's this additional 1% who say they would rather not vote. We're talking overall under 5% might or would have changed their vote, Donald Trump voters back in 2024. And then you ask, okay, the same question to Kamala Harris voters, and it turns out the numbers are rather similar. So if there was a repeat, if folks got to be able to redo their vote that they had back in 2024, would the result be any different? I doubt it would be. I doubt it would be, or it would still be extremely close. The bottom line is, for all this talk of Trump voters regretting their vote, in the numbers, it really just doesn't show up, John.
So the stickiness with Trump voters and President Trump in this presidency, how does it compare to his first presidency?
Yeah, okay. So, I was interested in sort of a historical analogy here, sort of, does this look similar or different from back in 2017, looking at 2016? Well, in February of 2017, 4% of Trump voters say they'd shift their vote. That's actually slightly more than the 3% this time around. So, you look back, you say, okay, there's these Trump voters who really regret their vote. Historically speaking, they really don't regret their vote. And if anything, the number this time around is actually smaller than it was the first time around. And it's certainly smaller than the number we saw coming out of 2020, of course, after the events of January 6th. So the bottom line is this. If there's some idea out there that Trump voters are going around, man, I wish I had voted for Kamala Harris instead of Donald Trump, the numbers say that is a fanciful universe. It really, for the most part, does not exist.
What about the...
Nora, why does this rumor, or why do people keep saying that Trump supporters regret their votes?
The same people that are sitting there saying that AOC has a chance to damn win when she runs. The same people that told you Kamala Harris was going to win with a landslide in November 2024. The same people that told you Joe Biden was mentally stable and mentally cognitive to be the president of the United States. That's who's spreading these lies, folks. The same Democrats. The do-nothing Democrats do nothing but spread lies, misinformation, divide America. Because again, we're going to talk about this on Tuesday. They're communists. They spread misinformation. They are trying to ruin this country, and they're trying to make you think that Trump voters regret their vote. Baby, we don't regret our vote. Never, ever, ever am I going to regret my vote. You know when I regretted my vote? In 2021, when I realized Joe Biden wasn't going to do what he said. That's when I regretted my vote. I don't regret voting for Donald Trump. And you know what I regret? I regret voting for Joe Biden in 2020 because he wouldn't have ruined this country.
Izzo, I mean, like, this was on CNN, so the left is looking at the statistics.
Fake news. It's all fake news.
So why do you think that this rumor is persisting? Why do you think people keep saying this?
I have no clue. Honestly, I have no clue. I mean, what they say? Less than 5% altogether of quote unquote Trump supporters. I want to know who they're asking to do these surveys. Like, how mentally sane are these people that they're asking? Are they asking like first time voters? Are they asking like middle-aged people? Are they asking like people at end of life that probably have dementia that they said they voted for Trump, but they actually didn't? But who knows? Who are these people surveying is the real question, because I live in a blue state, a deep blue state, and they keep trying to tell me that this is a deep blue state. But no matter if you go to Newark or you go to Cape May or you go out to fucking Trenton, it is Trump country. 100%. You see Trump flags. You see everything everywhere you go. During election season, I did not see one Kamala poster or yard sign. Nothing. See LGBT flags everywhere, but the same house that have that, Trump flags. So make it make sense to me. How is this really a blue state?
Right. So Kamal, you in a very blue state, probably the bluest state in the whole country. I mean, were you a Democrat before? Did you switch to Republican, or how do you feel like? Do you feel like Trump voters are changing their mind?
I'm gonna be honest. I've been kind of like apolitical since like 2008. First time I voted for Obama, and that was the last time, because after that, we know what Obama did, or the lack of the things he didn't do. Shit. Like, and to be honest, I'm in Dago, aka San Diego. This is one of the more conservative cities in California. I think here in like Bakersfield, even though California is a blue state, I live in one of the more red cities really across the country. You feel me? So I don't really see that much support for Kamala. I saw a little bit of support for Trump out here, but most motherfuckers don't care about politics out here, man. In San Diego, the sun is beaming. Everybody going to the beach and going to baseball games. They just out here, people more worried about some of the homelessness. That's about it. So when you live kind of like in an environment like that, politically is not as driven like in other cities, like where I'm from, the Bay Area, like in Oakland and stuff like that, or San Francisco, things of that nature. So yeah, and like I said, I've been apolitical since '08. So like I said, I'm always for my Black American people. What policies they're gonna do to help us with that? And the policies I'm specific about is cash reparations and an anti-Black hate crime bill to start out with. So
For sure. I think one of like the big reasons that people think that people are turning against Trump is because of the things that Trump are supposed to pass policy wise, and they don't feel like he's succeeding. So I wanted to play specific polls and like immigration stuff like that.
Here, and independents feel that Donald Trump has vacated the center of the electorate, catering to his base. What are we talking about? Well, let's talk about the overall net approval ratings. We're going to look at the worst ever at this point in a presidency. The old record among independents for the worst ever was Donald Trump back in 2016, a net approval rating of minus 16 points. Well, Donald Trump has broken his own record here. He now holds, in this particular term, the worst ever net approval rating at this point in a presidency among independents at, get this, minus 22 points. He is 22 points underwater with independents. That breaks the old record that belonged to Trump. He has set the new record. He is completely underwater with the center of the electorate, Kate Baldwin.
And this is overall. This
Yes.
is on all the issues. Now, focus in specifically on the economy.
Yeah, let's focus in on the economy, right? What is driving this overall approval rating for Donald Trump among independents to go underwater? Let's take a look at the economy. And let's take a look at Trump's net approval rating on it and look at the trend line over just the last few months. You go back to January, he was slightly above water with independents at plus 1 point. Look at this drop, Kate. Oh, my. Minus 29 points. That's a 30-point drop in under 3 months of time. What independents are hearing from Donald Trump, they hate. They hate what they're hearing from Donald Trump, and they are abandoning him in record numbers. At this point in his last presidency, he was about at even, at 0 points in terms of his net approval rating on the economy, and now he's at minus 29 points. You go back through the record books, I simply put, Kate Baldwin, can't find anything close to this. This is such a record that there is no historical analogy to be 29 points underwater on the most important issue of the day with independents. This right here, my dear friends, is political poison. If an election were held today and Donald Trump's net approval rating in the economy was minus 29 points with independents, I'm not quite sure how Republicans can hold on to the House of Representatives.
Is it all tariffs that are driving this?
Yeah, okay. So let's take a look here.
So Enzo, I know you're tired of hearing about tariffs, so I cut it off early. So what is it about the Teflon Don that he can have horrific polling numbers and specific things, but people still love him? How does that happen?
I mean, it's horrific polling numbers with independents. It's not Democrats, it's not Republicans. It's kind of funny that they literally just showed 2 graphs and 2 polls of just independents. Like, I want to see what the numbers are for Democrats and Republicans too. But I mean, with everything he's doing with the tariffs, at first I was kind of skeptical about it. Not going to lie, because I was criticizing it for the last couple months up until he put in this new tariff order. Now you have 100, it was 75 a week and a half ago, countries that are at the negotiating table that want to renegotiate tariff deals. Now we're at 100. He's doing something right. And I'm happy to see it. With what he's doing with China kind of scared me at first, but I mean, you hear the numbers from China that are shutting down factories left and right because they're not going to be able to withstand the tariffs that the Chinese government's putting on them, as well as the United States. So I hate to say it, Trump is right. He's right about what he's doing, and China's going to crack. I give it 2 weeks, China's going to crack.
Nora, so do you believe that the Teflon Don is untouchable and he's the best and this is all fake news?
So I don't worship Trump. I don't worship any man. I have the hat on because I am proud of the ideals of Make America Great Again. I like the positive aspects of it. And I like trolling the Democrats or the left. When they see this hat and they see I'm a woman of color, their heads explode. So it's a great feeling. But other than that, I don't think he's a god. I don't think I worship him. I think he's doing a phenomenal job if we're comparing him to the abysmal job that Joe Biden did. I think the tariffs are doing its job. It's bringing people to the negotiation table. I don't think China is going to break as fast as the other countries. Like they said, they've been around 1,000 years and they've outlasted all the dynasties. The UK empire, a bunch of other countries they've outlasted. So I don't think they're going to be as easy to bend. That's going to be Trump's biggest hurdle. However, do I think independents are like upset? Possibly, but guess what? You know what's going to happen? When Trump's plan is done, they're going to see their pockets fatter. They're going to see how great they are. They're going to see how much better we are under Trump compared to Joe Biden. They're going to think back to how life was under Joe Biden. And they're going to say, you know what? I can't with another Democrat. I'm going to vote with Republican. I really do stand on that. I think that the Democrats are going to lose terribly in 2028 again because their local politicians do shit. They don't do nothing. They're the do nothing Democrats. So it's not going to be a hard sell.
Kamal, you're the only independent on the panel. Are you happy with Trump's job?
Shit, the only thing I'm pissed off is I missed the dip. He told us when to buy on the dip with them tariffs. Damn, I should have listened. Man. But I bought a little bit, went up a little bit, so I made some though. I'm an independent. No, I'm not. Why am I mad? He indirectly helping out my foundational Black Americans. With the whole deportation of immigrants and stuff like that. Yeah. So no, I'm not mad. And that thing just reminded me there's a book called How to Lie with Stats. That's all CNN was kind of doing. They just lying with stats. They bring in a certain stat to make it look bad. And it's like, oh, this is independent. Most independents probably stayed home anyway. I was like,
fence fucking riders. Tell it. Come on.
Man, so it's like, that just was a lie with stats with CNN. It's the propaganda. You feel me? So,
well, it seems like everybody's bringing up China, and somebody just said China in the chat. That's the main thing that we're talking about. And it seems like China has found a loophole on how to get back at Trump, and it's all over
seen
TikTok.
by millions of Americans.
Let's not be poisoned and misled by the market campaign any longer.
That seem too good to be true.
We have like thousands of them in stock.
TikTokers claiming to work at Chinese factories that make high-end products and offering to sell them directly to Americans for much, much cheaper. The goods range from Birkenstocks, $10 to Nike sneakers.
Hello, boss. I'm a Nike shoes wholesale factory in China.
And Lululemon workout clothing. Who are the suppliers behind Lululemon? One video garnering 11.9 million views.
Here in these two factories, you can get them for around $5 to $6.
But Lululemon says the claims made in the videos are not true. Though the company says it manufactures about 3% of its finished goods in China, a spokesperson telling NBC News, Lululemon does not work with the manufacturers identified in the online videos, and we urge consumers to be aware of potentially counterfeit products and misinformation. Authentic Lululemon products are only available for purchase at our Lululemon store locations, registered Lululemon e-commerce sites, and select authorized and specialty stores. And if you were tempted by that super cheap Louis Vuitton handbag,
Louis Vuitton has many Chinese suppliers, but they just don't admit it.
Know that the company has long maintained its products are made only in Europe and the United States, as it currently states on its website. Louis Vuitton, Nike, and Birkenstock have not responded to our request for comment.
Besides price, I think even more important is the authenticity of the products, the quality of it.
Professor Shen Liu, whose research focuses on the global apparel industry, including international trade policy, says even if the factory did produce that hot handbag you want, they likely would not be licensed to sell it outside of its contract with the brand you know.
They do not only control where they source their products, but also they control where consumers can buy their products.
Shen encourages shoppers to beware of the context in which these misleading offers have surfaced. They come amid an onslaught of memes, many of them appearing to be AI generated, coming out of Chinese social media as the trade war rages on. From this video mocking the idea of Americans, or at least a caricature of Americans doing low-wage factory work, to this one that says the cards the U.S. is playing were made in China. And even the Chinese embassy based in D.C. blasting everything from American transportation to high price tags. This trade war turned internet beef doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
And Camila joins us now. I mean, look, I love a sale. We all love a deal. Is there any way for consumers to factor?
So women are going crazy all over TikTok thinking they about to get a Birkin bag for $15, thinking they about to get some Louis V, some Dior, some red bottoms. They think because these videos are going viral. So, Nora, you about to go, cop you some Louis V?
So let me say this for everybody watching. Shouts out to Kelly Corinne. She has a background doing like beauty podcasting prior to this, and she's really like a handbag connoisseur. Those bags are not made in China. I don't believe it. I believe those are knockoffs, and I believe this is Chinese propaganda. This is what China does, folks. So for all you people on the left that's hoping that America has a downfall, I've seen the videos. You guys saying, "Oh, I hope we lose the tariff war with China." You are supporting a communist country. Again, goes back to my show Tuesday night that we're going to have. Are Democrats communists? Anyone on the left supporting that, you're a communist because you're supporting communism. So you should be supporting America. This is the country you're in. You should be hoping that we win. And so, yeah, no, I don't want no knockoff, cheap ass handbags. I'm good.
So do you feel like China's still going to give in if they're, what Nora said, they're pushing propaganda? Seems like they're going balls to the wall. Do you still feel like they're going to give in to Trump?
They're going to give in, 100%. They're going to do everything they can to make the American people go against the government, and that's what they're trying to do. But then again, the American people, I know it says we the people in the Constitution, but we're not running the government to the extent where China thinks we're just going to have a revolt and go against the president. It's not going to work at all. And what they're doing, okay, when it comes to the bags and everything like that, 100%, I know they're not made in China and everything like that, but shoes and shit, there's a good chance that you could buy some fake ones as real. So, they maybe got a point there. But I don't know. This whole thing, it's going to blow over real soon. Because at the end of the day, I think I said it on here, I don't remember, but I've said it on my lives multiple times. China exports $300 billion worth of merchandise to the United States a year. We're the number one consumer of China. We could stop buying from China tomorrow. There is no nation, there is no amount of nations around the world that is going to fill the void of the United States pulling out. Yes, that is really going to hurt us at the end of the day, horribly. But then again, it's going to hurt China even worse. Because, look at their stock market. The second that these tariffs went into place, it dropped 10 points before the market even opened on the first day. So Xi Jinping needs to reevaluate himself and realize he's not going to win. Sorry to say it, not going to win, man.
Okay, so Kamal, do you agree with what Nora and Enzo basically saying that Trump has us in the bag?
Shit, I don't know if he got it in the bag, but they need to do how they do like other politics overseas. They need to throw hands. I don't promote violence, but look, they need to throw hands for how they really feel at this point. Like, hold on now. Like, I remember in the 90s, they was having knockoffs in certain stores. You could buy knockoff things anywhere. So I'm kind of like, this ain't new. Like, the people in China, you feel me? They over like, oh, we about to sell straight to American consumers, some knockoffs. It's like, bro, people already been getting knockoffs. That ain't nothing.
I live in New Jersey. You can go to Canal Street. It's all there.
Yeah, Canal Street.
Stolen, but
the knockoffs is there. Enzo, let me put that in my notes if I ever come to. You live in New York though, right?
I live in Jersey.
Jersey, okay, my bad. If I'm ever in Jersey, I might check out that spot. I don't know if I'm gonna buy.
No, it's in New York, Canal Street though.
You don't want to. It's like the bottom of the barrel fake shit, and then like some of the stores, like I'm gonna be real with you. I go to Canal Street. I go get cologne because I know it's stolen. I know it's real, but I'll get fucking like YSL and fucking Burberry like for $20. Like that shit's legit. I'm not going to the store paying $200 for a bottle of fucking YSL. Hell no. It smells the same. I don't give a shit.
Facts. But yeah, it's like also what you said, Enzo, and make a great point. If you ever think about it, who really got the power? Is it the person consuming or is the person buying? And let's remember though, you feel me? And I hate to say it, it's kind of America shooting itself in the foot for being racist, because if they didn't do what they did in the 70s, you feel me? Manufacturing all them damn jobs out to China when they was weak as fuck economically in the 70s, and they start building up in the 80s and 90s. Remember back in the day, you saw something made from China, it was a joke. Oh, this is weak. Yep, they kept building, and just because America didn't want to pay proper wages to Black Americans and some of the poor white Americans, you feel me? They shipped them jobs out, and then Bill Clinton, with his ass writing in NAFTA, making stuff globalization and stuff like that. Look now we got to deal with this problem with China.
So all the time. I call Nixon all the time for taking us off the gold standard because that was the beginning of the end.
The other thing that China does that people don't know is that if you come and set up shop there, they make it a requirement that you have to teach them like how to do those things. Like you can't have secrets. Like you have to show them how to do it. So then they learned and then they started their own. And that's what people don't realize.
That's cold. You feel me? But we still look at the end of the day, the consumer got the power. You feel me? Whoever's buying has the power. And that was the point I wanted to make. China, the Chinese people over there throughout years done got accustomed to getting lavish stuff, living a certain lifestyle. Now, if you strip that away, you feel me? Who gonna break first? Us or them? We already been living through the mud like that. You feel me?
Exactly.
Just saying.
Please like, share, and subscribe. Enzo, I'm gonna let you give your final thoughts first.
So, as always, it's a great show. There's a lot of great topics that we talked about tonight. One of the biggest things is that I was going to say before about Coachella. If you have to finance a concert ticket, you really need to reevaluate your finances and see what your priorities are, because you're probably living off ramen noodles and living in your mom's basement. Also, to the shooting in FSU, it's a travesty that we have to keep going through these certain things every so often. And like Nora said, I said it earlier to my friends, it's cheaper to get rid of guns, try to ban guns, than it is to give these people the proper help that they absolutely need. And to what's going on with China and everything like that, you guys ain't getting no deals on Louis V or Balenciaga. Don't even try it. We'll be able to call it out. It just smells different. It feels different. So stop trying to live broke rich. It's not a thing, guys. Stop. That's all.
For sure. So come on, we'll let you do your final thoughts. I know the man cave you were there first is a little more wild over there, but give us your final thoughts and what you think about the new party.
All right, I appreciate y'all from the new party. Gray, Nora, appreciate y'all. Enzo, appreciate you, bruh.
Thank you.
I like y'all insight. I appreciate y'all for having me on the show. You know what I mean? Also, people that's in the chat, I ended up linking my chat with y'all chat. So I put I pinned the link to their YouTube channel. So people that's on my channel, go click that link, follow the new party. You feel me? Also, if you watching on Twitter, Terrell, shout out to you, bro. Everybody else down the line that's gonna be liking, reposting, retweeting, all that good jazz. You feel me? Also, go follow the new party. Like I said, I put pinned the link in the chat. All right, and everybody else that don't know me, I'm gonna be proper today, Kamal Johnson. But usually I don't really say my name. I just be like the Shadow Band man. You feel me? That's basically where you can find me at. And I was a little PC over here. You feel me? On my show, I might curse a little bit more. So just saying.
For sure.
Red Fox in the building. What's up? Hell yeah. Okay.
Most definitely. Nora, what's your final thoughts?
Oh, so much to say. Shouts out to everybody at FSU. You are in my prayers. I went to Florida A&M University. You guys were our neighbors. So I'm really, really, really sad and heartbroken for this. I'm also sad for my South Florida people. I'm sorry that, you guys have to go through another mass shooting again. What is it, like 6 years later or like 7, 8 years later? When is this going to end, America? When are we going to address the problems? We can't address guns. Guns are a Second Amendment right. If you don't like it, too bad, but they have a right to their guns. So how can we address it? We've always had guns in this country. What has changed? What has changed is the SSRIs. What has changed is we do not have universal access to healthcare. I think universal access to healthcare is something the left and the right should unite on, and we should demand. We should demand it because every major country in the world has it. And whether you realize it or not, when that person goes and they get care and they can't pay the bill, you're paying for it. They're overcharging your insurance. They're overcharging you. So make America healthy again. Make America great again. Let's support universal health care. In regards to China and the tariffs, Trump, I don't know what's going to happen, but I trust you. I believe in you. My MAGA people, my people on the right, even the FBA that support Trump. Don't let them trick you, folks. The Democrats are doing this. They want to divide us. They want to spread propaganda. This is what they do. Come Tuesday night, we will be talking about, are the Democrats like the communists? Because I do think they're like the communists, and I'm going to drive that point home. And we're going to have some discourse on the left to talk about it. So shouts out to everybody watching. If you're watching for the first time ever, please like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for supporting the new party. And also, please go support Kamal if you're not already following him. We really appreciate him. He's FBA. I know our FBA in the chat like that. So please go support him. Support, a FBA brother. Support his network and go check out his content.
For sure. My final thoughts, if I can pull the thing up. I don't think it's gonna let me pull mine up. But
by the way, Gray, you did a great job tonight. I just want to tell you, don't get too comfortable. I know we talked about this in the woman's seat. I'll be back next week.
Listen, when I'm the host, it's always popping. I was in the echo chamber with you guys tonight, but I know you guys had to deal with a lot on Tuesday, so I said they deserve a break. They deserve to be able to just chill and say what they want to say. But shout out to the new party. Like, we making some big moves. Dora and Izzo doing a documentary. We actually interviewing a politician from Florida next Thursday. I don't know the name off the top of my head. I think it's Bernard Taylor. He's running in Miami. So we'll be doing that. And just keep rocking with us. Like, share, subscribe. My final thoughts is definitely RIP to the people at FSU, and shout out to the family. I hope the family, I know they're grieving right now, and yes, it's always horrific, especially with children when people just trying to get an education and they got to deal with additional stuff. As far as like with Trump, hopefully Trump can do what's best for everybody, and that's what I try to push to everybody. Like, we all have to live here, so like, even if you don't like Trump, hopefully things go well so that it's good for all of us. As far as China, I'm about to give me some Louis V, some Dior. Y'all go ahead and ship it to me. Send me the websites. I'm copping everything. For sure. Like we always tell the new party, always vote.
Always vote. God bless.
Introducing the new party. We live stream Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.